You chose roles actually which sparked dialogue.
Both Mahesh Bhatt and I just sort of dug our heels in and we said, no,
The
that
film,
was
yeah.
the reason we did
Yeah.
the film. From being regarded as liabilities, they're being regarded as assets.
Economic freedom is just one part. That gives them, as you said, the confidence, the courage. They are heard more, they are valued more.
I don't understand how a woman can be anything other than feminist.
I think it's all about equality, whether it's equality in choice, it's equality in opportunity.
It is choice,
Yeah.
Chanda.
Yeah.
It is choice.
Yeah. You chose roles actually which sparked dialogue, which, got people to think out of the ordinary, out of the regular norms. Choosing those kind of roles, was it a conscious decision from the beginning?
I came from a particular background where my father was a very well-known poet. My mother was a stage actress.
How was it like actually growing up in that household? There was skill and passion and revolutionary belief.
It was so amazing. We lived in the commune.
In a commune.
In a commune. So that was basically 8 families living together with one bathroom and one toilet. And the drawing room was used for the meetings. In fact, there was a red flag hanging. It used to be called the Red Flag Hall. So we all, it was like we were really a large family. And the values that we grew up with were a great pride in India's pluralism, where gender justice was taken for granted, where putting yourself out to help somebody who is more needy than you, these were the given. And particularly the pluralism of India was a given. And so we grew up, going to the Ganpati mandals. We would have Diwali, Holi, Eid, Christmas, all of these things. And these were traditions that my father followed right through, even after we went away from that. And that's what we still do. So that is something which we hold very dear together. And there was this feeling that, money is not everything. So it was not as if my parents sat me down and gave me a lecture on it. It was the lives they live. Because I do believe that children learn not by lectures, but actually by example. The progressive writers movement and all that all believe that art should be used as an instrument for social change. It took me a long time to understand that. It's not as if I grew up like a revolutionary. I was very busy working in films and enjoying my fame and success and all that. And then it slowly dawned upon me that what I take for granted is actually the exception rather than the rule. And it was a process almost of osmosis of my background and the kind of roles that I was choosing. And then a time came, particularly, you might remember, there was a film called Arth, which was Mahesh Bhatt, and which then became such an iconic film. And the distributors had been slightly shaky about it because they thought it's a very good film, magar ye end iska nahi chalega.
At that time, Earth was not just about one woman leaving her marriage. It was about she's seeking her identity.
Her identity and... in fact, the distributors told us that, it's a very powerful film, but you have to change the end because it's impossible कि एक Indian पति आके sorry बोल रहा अपने बीवी को और वो
माफ नहीं कर रही है.
But then both Mahesh Bhatt and I just sort of dug our heels in and we said, no, this is the reason why we've done
That was the message of the film.
That was the reason we did the film. And not only did it become critical success, but it also became a very big commercial success.
Absolutely. And, talking about that impact of creativity, since many of your roles were built around this identity of the woman, feminism in that sense, how do you see approach to feminism today? I just feel that, now this word feminism is just so much misunderstood.
मुझे लगता है समझ ही नहीं है.
समझ नहीं है ना?
समझ नहीं है. And there are so many women who say, I'm not a feminist. But what is it saying? At least just try and find out what it is saying. I don't understand how a woman can be anything other than feminist. And I don't think it's only to women.
Yeah.
I know that my husband is the biggest feminist I know. My father was a feminist. Sham Benegal was a feminist. And in fact, I think that the perfect combination is when the yin and the yang is perfectly balanced. Because if you're all woman or if you're all man, then you get into stratifications where then masculinity becomes about six-pack abs and about power and about taking charge. And why isn't it also about compassion? Why isn't it also about kindness? Surely a man who feels that is a richer person.
Yes.
हाँ?
Yes.
तो फरहान जो है हमारा बेटा जो है वो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चलाता है मर्द.
अच्छा.
And that is precisely it. He goes to colleges and to younger people and says, why can't we redefine masculinity? And that goes very well because he is a star and he's saying that. In the same way, I think we need redefining because अगर हम इतना stratify कर लेंगे और कहेंगे बच्ची है इसको पिंक कलर के कपड़े पहनाओ, इसको पिंक दे दो, इसको डॉली दे दो, लड़के को तो आप डॉल दे ही नहीं सकते, तो क्या कर रहे हैं आप? कितना क्लियरली उसको करें? Why can't there be flexibility in all of this?
Yeah, I think it's all about equality, whether it's equality in choice, it's equality in opportunity. I think that is what it mainly is.
It is choice,
Yeah.
Chanda.
Yeah.
It is choice.
Yeah.
I have no quarrel with a woman who decides that she wants to stay at home and she wants to look after her children. That's a priority as long as she has made that choice.
Yes.
It's not other people who are deciding for her कि औरत ऐसा नहीं कर सकती. So you must have choice, whatever you want to do, irrespective of gender.
Right.
And obviously opportunity. I work, I head a small NGO called Mijwa Welfare Society, which was started by my father in a very tiny little village in UP called Mijwa, where he was born. And he believed that India can only make real progress if we look towards our villages where 70% of the population lives with a focus on the girl child and women. And towards that aim, he first started a school and an inter-college and a computer center. And we are very, very fortunate that Manish Malhotra gets all his chicken curry work done from our girls, and they're doing very well in sports and things like that. So I can see that what they're doing and the fact that they have money in their hands, because we absolutely insist they must have the own bank account. It shouldn't be in the name of the husband or the mother-in-law or anything. So that has changed the status quo. Because now from being regarded as liabilities, they're being regarded as assets.
Yes.
And when they come, it's so sweet. We have these fashion shows Manish does once a year. And then these young girls came and said, Didi, Shah Rukh Khan wo sherwani pehn rahe wo maine embroidery की है. कितना ज़्यादा उनको confidence इस चीज़ के लिए मिलता है. So it's only opportunity.
Absolutely. And this, whatever they earn, it's not just economic freedom. I think economic freedom is just one part. That gives them, as you said, the confidence, the courage. They are heard more, they are valued more in their family, in their community.
And the choice that they should have the choice about how she wants to spend it. I'll tell you something very interesting. We were in America and I was once ironing Javed's kurta. So that this woman came in and she said, what are you doing? I said, I'm ironing Javed's kurta. You call yourself a feminist and you're ironing his kurta? I said, excuse me, what does that mean? So she said, he should be ironing his own kurta. I said he doesn't care. He can go in a crumpled kurta. I want him to wear something. And that's not important. You have no idea how strongly he is my partner. And when I am in trouble or something, I feel जैसे कि एक कोबरा अपना फन उठा के बोल रहा है, खबरदार जो मेरी बीवी को कुछ कहा, is that important or is this important? You know, they're very skewed ideas.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant. That the ideas have just become so skewed. Yeah.